The Elder Scrolls 6 has seen some interesting leaks and rumors over the last week, and honestly, it's getting embarrassing for the community because a lot of these mostly debunked rumors have been circulating as fact, while the reality is much more complicated. The truth here is that the Elder Scrolls series is in dire need of a new mainline entry, and while the 2018 trailer gave us hope, it's been so long now that people online have started to just make things up to satisfy their own curiosity about the Elder Scrolls 6. Despite the reality that this game is likely not going to release until fall 2027 at the absolute earliest, and 2028 or 2029 as the much more likely release date. There are really two separate rumors that I want to address in this video though. The first is concerning reports from YouTuber Xtasis regarding gameplay, building minigames, and ship crafting in ES6. This leak detailed all of the major rumors concerning the Elder Scrolls 6 that were pulled from previous sources that had already been labeled as false or hearsay, and that they were highly lacking in any sort of evidence. The first rumor was regarding the map for the Elder Scrolls 6, in that the map would include two different regions of Tamriel for the first time ever, including Hammerfell and High Rock, which it's basically been established for literal years now that the likely regions that we're headed to for the Elder Scrolls 6 would be Hammerfell or High Rock, so this is an absolute nothing burger. Next, we're told that there will be naval battles, shipbuilding akin to what we saw in Starfield, and exploration that would span across numerous islands and into massive underwater areas. We're also told here that we will be able to build entire fortresses and villages, and this to me sounds cool, but it's also something that anyone could think of if they've been following Bethesda game studios for the last 10 years. I mean, all of their last three major games have used some sort of building gimmick to supplement the core RPG elements. It started with Preston Garvey in the settlements of Fallout 4, Fallout 76 then took it to a new level with the camp feature, and Starfield allowed for ship customization and outpost building basically wherever we wanted throughout 1,000 barren and empty planets. So yeah, shipbuilding and any sort of other base building feature would not seem out of the realm of possibility in any way. The leak then also discusses the quote, return of dragons, and seriously, this has been speculated on already over the past 7 years by pretty much everyone in the community. Because of the massive success of Skyrim, everyone already pretty much thought that Bethesda would likely have to bring dragons back for the next game. We then hear that there will be a quote, flexible progression system where players will gain levels and skills by doing. Oh, that sounds great, except that's literally what Skyrim and all the other Elder Scrolls games have done before. So I'm not sure how this is, again, new information in any sense. The last item that was being reported on was that ES6 would then have around 12 to 13 cities to explore, which seems like even more speculation because anyone could claim this with some credibility since literally every Elder Scrolls game contains a swath of major cities. Skyrim, for instance, has 9 cities and Oblivion has 8, so yeah, 12 seems about right for ES6. So, while it is fun to speculate, it's also true that this game is likely very far away. We're talking like 3 or 4 years away, if not more. And a lot of the information included here has literally been traced back to 4chan and seems to be what someone wants out of the Elder Scrolls 6, or what someone is anticipating out of the Elder Scrolls 6 based on what Bethesda has been doing with their games over the last decade. Now, beyond gameplay details, base building, and other random speculation on the Elder Scrolls 6, the release date for this game has also been called into question through both this leak and another piece of news this past week. First, the leaks from Xtasis is claiming that the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be revealed for a second time in July of 2025, that is this summer, which for someone who isn't heavily invested in Bethesda game studios or in games nowadays at all, may believe, but July doesn't line up with what Xbox has done for the last decade or so now with a major showcase of games at the beginning of June around old E3 times each year, so this really doesn't fit at all. Another rumor came out this week that made assumptions about Bethesda's Make-A-Wish project where you can quote, bid on a chance to work with Bethesda Game Studios to create a character NPC in the Elder Scrolls 6. Fans and even gaming news outlets picked up on this and were speculating that because Starfield came out just a year and a half or so after the announcement for that game's Make-A-Wish campaign, that maybe, well, this means that The Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out in a year and a half as well. IGN, for example, questioned, does that mean Bethesda is looking at releasing The Elder Scrolls 6 in November 2026? At the same time, though, they did note that fans are apparently placing the likely release date of ES6 as September 27th, 2027, also without much actual evidence. So let me debunk these release date rumors with literally just like 3 sentences. It's one thing when back in the day, Pete Hines or someone would say that a game is years away, and we could speculate that that could mean 3 or maybe 4 years, but when someone like Phil Spencer literally spells this out for us, well, that's different. I think people are forgetting that in June 2023, Phil Spencer literally revealed at the FTC court hearing at the time of the acquisition of Activision Blizzard that The Elder Scrolls 6 is a game that was 5+ years away at that time, which means we are definitively not seeing this game until the end of the 2020s. He was quoted as saying this, and it was reported by a number of outlets, beyond just gaming outlets in fact, and so I get it that we're all starving for literally any information about The Elder Scrolls 6 at this point, but the sad truth is that there's just nothing to report on except in cases like these where we can conclusively say that all of the leaks and rumors that we're seeing being reported are just not accurate in any way, shape, or form. Do some of the leaks sound like something that BGS would do for the next Elder Scrolls entry? Yeah, definitely, but at the same time, I kind of would hope that they've learned something from their past few titles as well. For example, why not refocus on the RPG mechanics and the classic Bethesda elements that fans love so much in Oblivion and Skyrim? While Bethesda had some fun with the experiment of becoming a building sim studio, what they really excelled at in the past was the RPG choice and consequence nature of their games. I guess I just really hope that Bethesda doubles down on what made Oblivion and Skyrim so good, not on what made Fallout 76, Starfield, and Fallout 4 mediocre releases. At the same time though, I think that at a certain point, we may need to just realize that a lot of these studios that we once so adored are just not the same studios anymore. BioWare of 2025, for example, is certainly not the BioWare that I fell in love with in the early 2000s. From Knights of the Old Republic to Dragon Age of the Veilguard, something is just off now. Maybe the Bethesda that we knew and loved from 2006 to 2011 with Oblivion, Fallout 3, and Skyrim is now, in 2025, just not the same team that they once were. I think that much is clear in looking at the differences between games like Fallout 76 and Starfield to Fallout 3 and Skyrim. With all that being said, I think there's nothing wrong with being excited about the next Elder Scrolls entry, but until we actually see something from this game, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic about the future of Bethesda Game Studios. Anyhow, what are your thoughts on all of the Elder Scrolls 6 leaks and rumors that have been circulating this past week? Do you think we'll see this game before 2030? And what are your hopes and dreams for the Elder Scrolls 6? Shout out down in the comments below and let me know what you're thinking. Anyhow, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next level.